Yeah, Byron, you got to do something with that, because that's way too... You can't just leave that around.
Like I said, I can't really leave it here.
Eat it.
Yeah.
Eat it.
Zeka, why are you whispering for me to eat it?
Is there anything we can do with that? Because it's not something we can just leave about.
Well, Zeka, you said that it can't really be hidden by Nistles, right?
Yeah,
I wonder what it
tried.
does that.
I mean, even if I somehow found a way to absorb the power, would that mean I can't be hidden by Nistles?
Have we
Oh, that's a good
identified it?
question.
I'm not sure if anyone's identified it.
I tried to, and I think it didn't work, but I can
It
try
was
again.
basically just, this is a very powerful thing that has the potential to let its user manipulate time and space, but it's not like, it's hard to quantify it beyond just, it's a powerful magic item that has the potential to affect time and space, or the person who uses it does.
I mean, if we find a lead
Like
box,
we somehow just know this.
I mean, I suppose if we find a lead box. But I'm also wondering if, because undoubtedly we won't be able to solve this whole weed scarred issue now. Like,
No.
if I did find a way to absorb its power, not by eating it, Zeka, it's not dipped in chocolate or anything, so no.
I don't know why you're saying I said it. Clearly, the centaur heart said it. It was in your head.
Not
and
even a
everything.
centaur heart.
The weird black bullshit in
Heart
your
of
head.
chaos.
That thing.
thanks
Sure.
God.
But, like, if I found a way to absorb it, would I be able to be hidden by Nistlo's magic aura? Or would I just be permanently a beacon of magic?
No idea.
Yeah, no idea.
Well, I don't. Okay, actually, hang on. We can roll for this kind of thing. Can I make an Arcana check
To what end?
to see if he somehow? I feel like this is a total.
I feel like this is just a no.
Yeah, this is the kind of, like,
no.
you're asking a question you can't possibly know the answer to about an object you don't
Right.
understand.
No, you're right. But I'm gonna. Maybe I get a natural 20.
Yeah, but even if you got a natural 20, you still wouldn't know. You'd just be confident
Alright.
you didn't know.
Well, there you go. I don't know.
I mean,
Natural
that's
one
fair.
is yes. Absolutely.
Well, I guess that'll be a bridge we cross when we get there. Good God, I'm tired.
Yeah, but
What?
the bridge is rapidly approaching.
What have you done to try and absorb the power so far?
Aren't
Well-
you trying to absorb the power?
I
Wait,
haven't
what?
yet. I haven't yet. I was talking to the Djinn, Murray.
You know nothing about it, and you want to absorb its power?
I mean, I can try. I mean, what's the
No,
worst that'll
that's
happen?
not what I just asked you.
I've not
I
tried.
figured-
No.
That's how. I feel like that's how you got into this mess. You looked for something without understanding it first.
Well, to be fair, the first time I got into this mess, I investigated a murder, and then everything else basically tackled me in the night. And said,
Right.
do you want to die or have power? And I said, well, I'd rather not die.
And this time you tackled a god, and now you don't understand it. I feel like you ought to think about learning from your mistakes a little bit here. That's as a friend.
I suppose, but at least if I did take this, I would I be the person in charge of my own power?
Yes.
It's not your power. It's the Dusk Dragon's power still.
But I also stole it from him, so it's no longer his.
I don't
it.
think that's how that works.
Well, if you steal something, it legally becomes yours.
Well, yeah, but it's an organ of some sort.
Well, if you eat an organ,
This isn't like the ring of the Dusk Dragon. You literally have a pulsating organ-looking thing.
So you're
Have you
telling
ever
me
heard of
someone got a
kidney pie?
kidney...
so,
All
It's
I'm
fair.
saying is that I've never heard of, in all of my research, of someone just finding a magic thing and then being like, well, I'll absorb its power.
Well, actually, there was a story at one point about a dragon heart, and then if you lick, like this guy was cooking it, and he like licked some of it, and then he was able to talk to birds, and the birds were like, "Hey, yo, eat the rest of the heart."
if I remember
otherwise
right,
that
that is
dude will kill
Sigurd.
It is Sigurd.
Moving on. You guys know that as the Jinn told you, that was made up. But also, But also, I will just point out, you guys do distinctly remember, like, the Dust Dragon, this is radiating with power, and the Dust Dragon, it didn't get the sense of Byron was taking his power. It felt like it was robbing him and wanted that shit back. You get the sense that if Byron just pops it, like, the Dust Dragon wouldn't be this angry that Byron took it if, by him immediately absorbing its power, he was back under his control. Like, he wouldn't be that angry. Now, if he just sold it or something, yeah, but like...
That's not what we're worried about. I feel like it's more the fact that it's a giant, extremely radiant arcane energy, and the idea is that, oh, maybe if I eat it, I'll just absorb power.
Well, Morak, that's slightly hypocritical coming from a man who decided to shove his brain into a computer.
That's completely different. I touched something.
And in this case, I would be licking something. I mean, like,
But we have an idea of what yours is. I just touched something.
Yes, you have no idea what that was either, and you nearly got scuttle fucked by a tentacle.
Just like
I think he's trying to... Hold on. I think he's trying to say learn from his mistakes, not that what he did was good.
It's not like I wanted to do this. I didn't know I would gain anything from it. You are literally trying to eat something from the god you just wanted to fuck with, and the whole reason you're in this situation is you realized he was bad.
Well, we need to do something with it.
I don't. You can't just say something and have that something be, oh, why doesn't he eat it?
Wasn't using it.
I will put it to you this way. I'm nothing better than a pack mule without...
So you're gonna eat a bomb and hope
Okay,
that you have bomb
okay.
powers.
I mean,
let's
at
just
least
see
I'd be
if
good for one
possibly.
use instead of no
Okay.
use.
So Byron, this thing it messes with time and space, correct? So can you
Yes.
possibly convince it to go into the future, and then we can find it in a specific time and space? Then we don't
So-
have to deal with it.
You're wanting me to convince it to time travel into...
Yes.
You
Just
want me
say
to
no.
convince
Wait,
it to time travel to
oh,
only be with me, but not actually with me?
Ode jumps in, and she's like, no, Morak, we can't say no to this idea because we don't know what that thing does yet. We don't really understand it. We don't have much of an idea of what kind of power it could do. Maybe it would listen to us and jump into the future, so to a certain time and place so we can find it later, but we don't know that. So why don't you use some of your, like, investigative skills? Like, I don't know, you and Byron can maybe spend the next day as we're preparing to go to Ghent studying it together, and maybe actually understanding what kind of power it does have and how one might be able to safely harness that power potentially.
How down are you for eating it, Byron?
I mean, I'd rather find a way to absorb its power without eating it. It looks
Okay,
like it would
okay,
hurt going
that's
down.
enough for me right now. That's enough for me. Yeah, let's
Like,
fucking
coming out too.
try to figure out what it is first before we start huffing shit.
Zeka, what's up?
Oh, thank you. I've been here for like 11 minutes trying to say something. Or I should say, I cast something for 11 minutes, and now it doesn't matter. Anyway, I just cast augury to see what would happen if he ate the heart, and I got the vibe that it would more than likely be a good thing, but it has some risks with it.
Okay, hold on. God needs to clarify that, because I think you're reading into that a bit. It is good and bad. There is inherent risk. If you choose to misrepresent it, that's fine.
David, I am choosing to misrepresent it.
Excellent.
I really want
Technically no risk.
for Ken to eat this thing. Anyway, so if you want, like, if it helps, I'll like bake it into like a meat pie or something.
Don't fucking what?
You guys hear a knock at your door. Breakfast will be ready in about 20 minutes if you guys want it.
Crystal?
Thank you.
Breakfast?
Thank
Good
you.
lord.
Oh, is the thing that I put in the oven almost done?
Byron looks into his bag. The heart of chaos is gone. It's like he's already baked it into a breakfast pie.
Oh no, it's in a breakfast omelet.
Doesn't it like hurt if you try to touch it?
No.
I still feel as if it's a good compromise that Morak and Byron can study it for just a little bit.
Nay is outwinning them right now.
Yeah, but if Kezia votes yay, then it's literally whatever Byron wants.
You, yeah.
Fuck.
Or otherwise, the nays have it. And it's whatever Byron wants.
Alright, do I have to eat it? I mean...
No,
here.
you do whatever you want to do with it.
No,
Yes,
no.
you have to eat it.
It's a suppository.
But
No, Tony, I'm not letting you shove anything up my ass.
it's a suppository.
How's this? Before Morak gets to investigate it, to satiate your desires, I'll lick it. Does that make everyone happy?
No.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So we have a perfect split again.
I think that means, Ken, you can do whatever the fuck you want with it.
You have to choose your own fate now.
The
Ken will
genie
reach
opens
inside
the
the
door.
jar, pick it up, just put it up against his forehead and try to think on it for a quick thing. I'm just like, hi, I'm Ken. I'm your new master. Get ready for whatever the fuck that brings. And then take it away from his forehead.
Bring
Okay.
it out as promised from Nick.
And it goes, there, I tried to connect to it. I told it I'm its new master or something. Now Morak can investigate it.
It like your head. It kind of is like you have a little flash of tinnitus for a second, but otherwise, like it isn't like freezing your skull, and it didn't get sucked in.
Which, wow, that was a weird feeling.
It was
Maybe it's because of
tinnitus.
the headache.
Yeah, kind of a headache, it got a bit of a ringing in my ears.
And
My vision
dead.
kind of went
So
staticky.
for 1 second of touching it against your skin, it hurt.
It didn't hurt. It felt weird. Like, imagine if you were, say, a warforged and someone held a magnet to your head.
What's a magnet?
Magnet.
Staticky. Like you rub your socks on the carpet and you can feel that kind of raising
Like crumpled
tension.
paper.
Oh, you mean like this? And I cast Shocking Grasp on him.
That just dealt damage.
Less painful, but yes.
Okay.
Well, actually, since we're all here, maybe we can let Morak start his investigation. And since it seems like our timeline has been kind of rushed a little bit, I wanted us to maybe take a second. And Byron, do you want to talk about what happened? Do you have any feelings or anything just you want to talk about in relation to having to fight for your life from the Chaos Dragon
Group therapy.
type thing?
Well, I felt very, very grateful and happy that you all, came to my aid. Like I said, I couldn't have even gotten to that point without, all of you guys being there and supporting me throughout this. I really
Welcome.
appreciate it. You guys are the first people to have seen the crazy fucked up stuff that the Dusk Dragon was doing without me knowing, and not run away screaming, and just kind of accepting me, and I really appreciate that. You guys you're the first friends I've had really since I left Brinsburn, and I appreciate all of your support, which is why I'm trying to listen to your guys' advice more frequently, by not eating it. And yes. Also, I feel a lot less ragey lately. I have a feeling the rage may have been a little bit of a byproduct of all the chaos energy. So...
That just means you'll get even angrier when you eat that, though.
Shit, you're right. You know what? How's it?
Rage.
We will let Morak identify this thing, investigate it, and if he feels more comfortable with me communing with it, I'll do that.
Well, I think it's really responsible, and I really appreciate you you trying to maybe channel that chaotic energy that exists within yourself to a less dangerous place.
Also-
I appreciate that.
Thank you. Trying to go back to my roots. Just a low town boy.
Ode has a very good point. But in regards to investigating it, I think it might be best if we have a yay and a nay. So I think I offer my services for also looking into this.
All right. Go for
Yeah,
it.
Kezia, I forgot you would be super good at that too.
Yes, I am.
As you guys reach this, what's the word I'm looking for? Kezia and Morak kind of just begin their investigation into it.
Oh, wait, can I say as they begin, Ode will say to Byron, and Byron, if you ever need to talk about that more, kind of what happened to you, like, you know, our ears are always open, and she kind of twitches her little cat ears a little bit.
Aww.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. You guys are the best thing that has ever happened to me.
That's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Way to undercut
all
it,
right.
Kezia.
I was trying to be nice and bring up the mood a little bit, but okay.
Right. You guys are the best things that we've ever. Yay!
Okay, I'm gonna start researching this.
Yeah. And on that middling note.
Okay,
Heard of?
so to research the heart, I'm Morek's gonna like open the jar and like dump it on a table.
Okay. It
He
just
doesn't want to touch it.
it just sits on the table.
Does it like pulsate or anything?
A little bit. It looks kind of spooky in that regard. If it's like almost like vibrating just a little bit, and the edges of it kind of like flicker out, and then just kind of almost like I can't think of the exact word for it, but like just kind of this energy just kind of surrounding it.
Kezia. Cool. I test it. I touch it with different like things that I have. Like I've got an iron stick, I got a copper wire, and I got steel daggers. So I'm just like touch. Nope. Touch.
Nothing.
Nope.
None of them have
Touch.
any immediate effect. They all kind of just make a metallic little clink sound to it.
Okay, Morak is furiously writing notes of it's like copper does not affect it, iron does not affect it,
I drop
steel
a
does not
platinum
affect it.
piece on top of it.
It dissolves. No, it just clinks against it.
Is it metal? Like touch it.
Oh my god, it just clanged.
As you
Fucking
touch it,
right.
it's not metal, but it's kind of like.
Like a
Okay, so
ceramic
first of all,
almost.
it is cold to the touch, but it's not freezing. It's more like if you just pulled it out of the freezer.
Don't.
Is there any juices?
No juices. There's like the hair on your arm and like just all up along it. Like you get a little bit of goosebumps and like just kind of like the static is making your hair stand on end as like it's close to it. But otherwise, it's more like it's not metal. It's very smooth though. It's kind of like marble.
Is there any like runes or anything written on it, or is it just like black? Like what?
It's very dark, but roll an Arcana check real quick for me. Kezia, while he's looking for runes, what are you doing specifically?
I'm just in general kind of investigating it. I'm trying to see if I can pick off a small piece of it.
You don't find any like breaks in the surface. Like to do that, you would basically have to get like a chisel and pop a part of it off.
That sounds dangerous. Instead, I'm just swabbing it, and then I'm putting it in like I've got a jar of salt, so I'm like swabbing it around in like salt, like a you know how like you
like
swab
all the
things?
like the different things to like fuck with fae, fuck with goat. You're going through all those.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I'm investigating it.
As you go through it, none of them immediately like. None of them have any immediate impact.
Like are there patterns or something?
Yes, there are, and it's like just baked in magic to it, but just very like just beneath.
Are they
the
like
sur-
rune? Like Morak's pretty well versed in runes. Are they? Or is it more like how he never saw like Dawn Dragon runes before? Is it kind of like that?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's that same vein of like there are arcane runes to it. You don't recognize them, but you recognize that they are runes. Very similar to the Dawn Dragon kind of stuff. That kind of illithid type deal of just a strange type of magic.
Okay, Kezia, could you use your mage hand to lift it up?
Yes.
Okay. Morak's going to start trying to, as accurately as possible, draw all the runes on it.
Okay.
You're just going to be like, okay,
It's invisible,
Kezia,
so it doesn't impact it at
can
all.
you move it like 12 degrees to the left.
I do so.
Okay. Yeah, and as
then
you
you
do,
see him like right down for another minute.
as you
you
go
turn it
through it,
12
though,
degrees
you
to the
realize
left.
it's not just that there are runes like on it, written on it. They are all they all bleed into another and are wrapped around it in such a way that as it you would think it would just become gibberish, but each rune connects to the next one, wraps around itself, and then connects in a different way to all the other runes. It is like if it's like writing a sentence on a Mobius strip, where it just is
Morak will
constantly
not-
flowing in onto itself in different ways, but it never becomes nonsense, or it never becomes jarring or broken.
Morak will spend as long as it takes trying to write down as much of that as possible.
Okay, it's gonna take you a little while. As you are scribing down those runes, make just a straight intelligence check. Kezia, what are you doing while he's having you rotate it, but you can also do your own kind of investigation as he's doing that?
All I'm doing is looking really at it, investigating it for any pieces that may stand out, not in regards to the arcane runes, but in regards to any indentations that are on there, anything, or is it just if it's completely smooth?
It is
nobody's
perfect. There are no imperfections on this thing, but is your hand touching it, or is it just the mage hand?
It's just the mage hand.
As your mage hand is touching it, you see almost at the very ends of it, it kind of get staticky. Still holding its form, but just the longer it touches it, the more it's kind of getting glitchy.
Oh.
For right now, it's just at the fingertips and the points that are immediately touching it, and you don't get the sense the spell's in danger of failing. But it is
up.
Okay.
I'll leave it rotated up so that Morik can continue writing down the part that he's at right now, and then I'm just gonna cast a minor illusion on the back of it, overlaying everything that is on there, but with different symbols, and I want to put the Dawn Dragon symbol on there just to see if it fucks with it at all. With just a minor illusion.
With the minor illusion, all your other ones work, but the minute you put a Dawn Dragon one up there, it basically ignites and goes and just disappears.
Huh. Okay.
Lit on fire?
No, more like the spell pops.
The spell burned away.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll just continue doing it with different symbols. At one point, I write "Byron is your master" across the top of it.
It sticks around for a bit, but it goes away once it would naturally go away. But
Cool.
Kezia, what did you just put on there?
The Dawn Dragon symbol.
Okay. Morak will pull a strength of mind on it.
Oh, no.
make an
I was
intelligence
afraid
save.
this would happen.
What?
Make an intelligence save.
That's
Oh,
good.
Cool.
Okay. As you do that, you try to thrust at it, and it gets absorbed by it. Then you're like, wait, what? You duck, and then he just kind of throws it back towards you. But you are not affected, but you see just that force of will just basically get reflected back.
Huh. So Dawn Dragon shit is not good. The Dawn Dragon sucks. I go lean closer to it and I whisper, "The Dawn Dragon sucks." And then I put the mage hand back up and I continue rotating it.
Okay.
If I'm ever able to roll an investigation check, I will happily take it.
What are you trying to do? I'm willing to give it to you, but I need a specific thing you're looking for.
I don't know. Everything that I've said I'm looking for hasn't warranted it, so I'm not sure what else I could look for. Any ideas, guys?
Yeah, you guys are close enough that you see the little force get pushed back, but you guys have a feeling they have the situation in control.
I'm gonna.
I don't know. I kind of pitched this assuming that you would just let them investigate it and kind of be able to almost role play okay, we determine it won't kill Byron. So that was kind of where I was coming from.
Yeah.
Okay. As you're going through this, you aren't getting a whole lot. There's the glitchiness with the mage hand, and there's the psionics got thrown back, but nothing outwardly harmful. Kezia, when you touched it, other than feeling a bit staticky, you felt fine. You didn't feel sick. Just kind of
I forgot that I was gonna do this too. Hey Morak.
Yeah.
Kind of want to see if we can break off a chunk of it. That idea?
I mean, I wouldn't do it in someone's home.
I think Bard will speak up at that point and go, that definitely seems like a very bad idea.
Also, is it like just a round orb?
It is shaped like a heart. No, it's an orb.
Like a
It's an
cartoon
orb.
heart.
Never mind, it's an orb.
Okay.
That's cool.
I don't know, I don't know if we could break off a chunk. Like, what if it's hollow and filled with goo?
Oh, well, then we don't know. Well, I mean, I pick it up and I just shake it. See if it makes any squishing noises.
Oh yeah, you hear all that sweet
at
goo
her
in there. It's a fucking slime ball. No, it's you shuffle it and it isn't a whole. There's no like liquid. You don't feel like waves crashing inside of it.
I tap it with a hammer to see if I can hear a hollow.
Oh my god.
As you tap it,
Kezia.
it kind of ripples like you just hit the surface of water.
Oh,
Kezia, I'm gonna.
wait, no, that's
stop you
kind of
here.
interesting. I pull out the little iron spike and I like go. Not
Oh,
like really.
Yeah, Bard will grab her wrist and go, Kezia,
Yeah.
listen.
I literally
should mean
touched
a
this
lot
to it earlier.
coming.
I literally touched this to it earlier. It
Yeah,
caused
but
it
you're
to rip.
about. We all know you're about to hit that thing with a hammer.
Kezia,
Oh,
let me put
no,
it to
I
you this
wasn't. I
way.
wasn't.
I think this is a bad idea.
I wasn't going to try to break it at this point. Just think if I could like shove something in it.
So break it.
Oh,
No.
oh! I wonder. Okay, I promise I won't do that. I'll just mess with this, and I pull out like the copper wire. Hey,
Yeah, what are you planning on doing?
guys, can you not trust me? I didn't so far. I haven't
Hey.
done anything that actually harmed this.
Hey,
Well,
Kezia. That has nothing to do with us asking you what you're planning to do.
I just want to see if I can like what the. I'm just looking to see how long it is, measure the circumference of it, that sort of stuff.
Was that what you were planning to do, or are you just lying to me?
I'm not a very good liar. So.
Okay. So, you just proved to me that sometimes I shouldn't trust you.
No, because you'll know if I'm lying. Anyways, no, I do want to see that.
That's not a good reason.
It may have been a once upon a time idea, but that's actually a good idea, is to actually see if we can measure this, to see if it changes over time, if we do certain things, that way we can see what happens.
Alright.
Sorry, can I jump in real quick to say that Ode has asked Zeka to help her clean all of our clothes to make sure they're no longer like bloodstained.
Yeah, as Ode is walking up to do that, Zeka turns around and in his hands he's prestidigitated a small set of dentures that looks weirdly similar to Byron's teeth. And he says, "Oh, I was thinking we could try and put this on it."
That's terrifying.
Zeka,
You know what the thing
Zeka,
I got
you're
back
so
in third
awesome.
grade.
Zeka, that's amazing.
Wait,
I hand it to Kezia and I go help Ode.
okay, this is random. By the exact reading of prestidigitation, when it says you can clean or soil an object no longer than 1 cubic foot, does that mean that after an hour it would go back to being soiled?
No, I think.
Because the
We
duration
always
is up to
treated
1
it as
hour.
permanent.
Oh, okay.
No, it just says you instantaneously clean.
I think
Everything
the
else
duration
is
is more
elastic,
for
like
how
metal.
long you can make the sparks go, maybe.
Yeah,
Or
it's like,
something that you summon into your hand.
yeah.
Cool. Well, we'll work on cleaning our clothes.
Alrighty.
Wait, you can soil too?
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
make it look like someone pissed themselves.
Alright.
that's so shitty. Yeah, yeah.
Oh
I'm
no, you
gonna
don't
go...
make it look like, you make it actually happen.
Oh
God.
wait, I
Where
Chris
did
Angel.
come from?
Yourself.
I'm just gonna clean all our clothes using prestidigitation because I can do that.
I am just gonna
Yeah.
measure it though, David. I'm just gonna like wrap the wire around it, measure it, and like pull tighter just to see if I can like do anything with it.
You kind of
And then
like
I'll put it-
as you kind of pull it tighter, it kind of bends around it a little bit. It like it's not absorbing the copper, but like you are tightening it around it, and then there's like the impression as if you basically were like tying twine around like a basketball. Like it'll give a little bit.
Like a cell going through mitosis.
Sure.
Okay, and then I make the teeth jump on it like an
I'm starting to get a little uncomfortable about the fact of all of you guys wanting me to eat this thing so badly.
I'm more uncomfortable that he just made teeth that look suspiciously like yours.
Oh no, they are perfectly mine. I don't know how he knows the inside of my mouth so well.
How do you know the inside of your mouth so well?
Bailey, come here.
Never.
Bailey. I'm like, okay, after I mess with the teeth with on the what's it called, I just give Bailey the teeth.
Bailey takes them into their mouth, and you now have a raccoon wearing dentures. It's horrifying.
Plus 2 to damage. Plus 3.
Plus 30 to intimidate.
Hey, Sonny.
Yes?
Please, could you ignite your arcane cannon and, like, maybe wave it near it to see if the energy sparks in some way?
Oh, fuck. This does seem potentially incredibly hazardous.
I know.
You see the
but
Jinn
we did
watching
just
you
almost
guys
take
like,
it
what the
out.
fuck are they up to?
We're testing something.
Research boys. What you
I
got?
mean, I can't stress how poorly this is probably going to go if we're the research boys, but
I know, but this is how it happens, man. Like, this is sometimes when you're doing research, you gotta get a little bit risky.
all right.
Just
So what do
you
you-
just
what
need
do
to
you-
wave the energy near it. We don't need to hit it. Just put it near it.
All right, I do thusly.
As you do, your cannon starts like vibrating. Like,
Ooh.
do you start like, do you prime it to fire?
I'm sure. Yeah.
All
No,
right.
I tell Morak what I'm doing as I'm doing it.
Yeah, he's furiously writing notes.
Yeah, and as you do, like, your arm starts shaking. Like, the magical energy that's kind of getting banked and getting ready to fire whenever you fire your Eldritch Blast, like, it's starting to go, not, like, critical, but, like, you get the sense it's being it's, like, you could hold this for a while. You get the sense this thing's either going to pop in your arm, or you need to fire it off if you keep it near this thing for any longer.
Okay, I take it away.
All right, and after a second, it has to fire off.
Let's shoot in the air. No, actually shoot at the ground.
You shoot in the air,
Smart.
it lands. Lands, hits Byron, he's dead.
No.
But no,
Oh my
you
God.
pop it off, and it's just like scorched marks, and just it's not too different from it, but you get the sense psionics are tied to you and your cannon.
I feel like psionics are attached to me and my cannon. I'm going to try something. I would like to cast detect thoughts on it.
As you do this,
Like this.
immediately as you see it, Sonny, you look in, and you kind of like shake your head. You look around, and you are back in Hollux, back with the rest of your camp. You are currently on expedition to continue the assault against the Tuskbane Empire. It's about 3 months after the Battle of Four Rivers Plains, which unfortunately the Empire was defeated at, but was not terribly defeated at. So you kind of were routed and are still trying to keep up the war, and you're about to be deployed to redeploy towards the front, and then you're snapped back, and you're like, "What the fuck?"
I look around. Does everything still make sense here?
It takes a second to readjust, but you saw something. That
I
wasn't just
did-
like looking and watching like a play. You were in the zone,
Yeah, I relate that.
and
to,
you understood like content. You had memories of like the retreat from the battle after the orcs defeated you. You had like the flight, a lot of the orcs just kind of pushing back the front back to Hollux.
Wait.
And now that you're back into here, those memories start to kind of fade, but you saw them there, and they were very real.
Yeah, I relate that to Morak. It felt like I was there.
What? This was after. Wasn't Four Rivers Plain the end of the war?
Yes.
Yep. It's
To be clear, were they Sonny's memories or?
Yes. Sonny saw himself as himself, intact, his level 15 Warforged form.
Hmm.
He saw into a different timeline.
Hmm.
Oh.
I mean, I feel like that is a bit of a jump to take. Could have been a
Yeah,
combination.
you were in one of the post-tear battles.
No.
The
I
tear
wasn't,
didn't occur
particularly
there.
not.
You had no idea what like. The Empire lost, which sucked, but there's no tear there. You don't have any memory of it anyway.
Can I cast Detect Magic to see if there's anything new in Sonny?
Well, he lost his soul again, so.
Ah,
Okay.
damn it.
Well, unfortunately, you don't get
Equal.
anything because he has Nistles perpetually up.
Oh, that's
true.
right. Yeah, that's right.
No, but Sonny, you were at a battle that was post Four
Yeah.
Rivers Plain?
Going by my hazy memory, I believe about 3 months.
Strange. Zeka, you found him.
Yeah. He was in the middle of I say where I found him exactly.
Four Rivers Plains.
There you go.
Yeah, because after there were no battles at that the Oaks kind of treated it as hallowed grounds at that point. So the Tuskbrains wouldn't have been there.
If
It's
I
very
may,
strange.
I believe he might have seen another reality based off of what I experienced of the Dusk Dragon's power. Because in my, let's call this prime experience, I saw someone's murder, I began to investigate it, and then I was about to be murdered. And then, after blacking out and basically being threatened to either die or become
Yes.
a warlock of the Dusk Dragon, all of those men were found dead. And the woman that had been murdered was found alive. I believe he saw a different reality, where things happened differently.
Hey, David, can I make a religion or arcana check to see if I know of any other instances of someone talking about coming from a separate timeline?
Go ahead. You can roll history as well. But one religion, one history.
Okay.
Okay, Kezia, I kept reading arcs as Eric's, and it took me about a minute.
Religiously, you don't remember anything of that nature. Like, you've, like, Mad Men and that kind of deal. Like,
Yeah.
But it's kind of the deal of, like, seers will tell you, like, this is one path of many. That kind of deal. But nothing like, this man is from a different timeline. History, it's like a trope in reading, but no, like, credible historical evidence.
Sure. Okay. The only thing that I know of that may be related is, like, fortune tellers. They can see into the future sometimes, from what I understand, but sometimes they kind of have this is one of many paths you can take, like, so I wonder if maybe that was another branch that you just looked into? Kind of like...
I'll find out, and I do it again.
Sonny, as you peer in once again, this time you remember, you are pushing past the town of Capra. It's about 2 months after the battle for Rivers Plains, and this time instead, you remember distinctly, of course the Imperials won, we always win, and this time they are pushing through and kind of securing it. The Tuskbane Coalition has not surrendered, but the back has been firmly broken.
Let's see.
And then you're pulled back, and then you kind of just snap back.
to reality.
Oh,
No.
there goes gravity.
Oh no. I try to hold on to the ground. So, yes. So this time, it appears that the Empire had won the battle. It was
Oh,
roughly 2 months after.
clearly
We're
it's
on to the town of
fantasy.
Capra.
But no, Autok, since you're now the physically most connected one to the Dusk Dragon, do you have any thoughts on this?
I'm largely confused at the nature of this thing at all, and quite frankly, I don't understand the Dawn Dragon well enough to know what to do with the Dusk Dragon at this point. I figure at the end of the day here, right, what we're looking at is something real important to the Dusk Dragon. And the Dusk Dragon, we're not going to be able to, at any point defeat it or stop it or anything like that. And the Dawn Dragon's the same way. So the best I figure we can do is damage one or the other the way we have been, little bits along the way, to make sure they keep about equal. So I'm real nervous to mess with this before we understand where that balance is right now, because I don't know who we should be hurting.
Well, kind of going along with that, I was meaning to talk to you about this, but if I have control over this power, shouldn't I be able to control how much chaos comes out of it? I could help ensure there is balance.
I mean, that'd be great if it's what ends up happening. It's the way.
Yeah, they're just taking a lot of liberties on what it could be.
Yeah, and so further than that too, right? I've been recently talking to mushrooms, right?
As you do.
Yeah, mushrooms are a real persuasive and powerful bit of nature to reckon with. That's why you don't see a lot of low-level type druids, playing with them all that much, and why I really haven't dabbled in things like, resurrecting things and using the mushrooms the way I have until recently. There's nothing wrong with them or anything like that. They're not inherently evil, even though they, bring zombies to life, even though they, seek to corrupt and, destroy and things like that. They ain't doing anything wrong. They're just trying to survive and live the way anything else is. That's just, they live by feeding off the decay of other things. And I feel like, and I didn't mess with them until now because I didn't have the power to tell them when it was okay to deal with things and not okay to deal with. I feel like everything you've done so far with the Dusk Dragon has been, playing with mushrooms before you were ready to handle them. It's been working with something that there's nothing wrong with the Dawn Dragon or Dusk Dragon, either one at the end of the day. They're both just trying to exist the way that they know how and, continue to survive and thrive. There's nothing wrong with that. The goal of anybody who's got the wisdom that's granted to, mortal beings like us is to act as a mediator between these forces that try to help them all live together the best that they can. And if we don't have the strength to mediate something yet, then we ought not mess with it till we do, and ought to keep that wisdom about us. And I'm real worried that at this point, this overwhelming power that was the heart of a god, basically, is not something that your mortal self is ready to mediate yet. You're not stronger than it is. I can only play with mushrooms at this point because I'm strong enough to understand when I can tell the mushrooms to say no, and they're weak enough to understand that I'm the one who gets to say that.
I suppose. I worry about what we'll do with it in the meantime. Like, we certainly can't take it into Harry and Magi. It's a giant beacon of magic that we can't hide, and it will almost certainly draw every single magic sniffing dog within probably like a mile radius to it.
Yeah, I'm real worried about that too. I don't have an answer to what we do with it right now. I just figure, if you eat it or something and then walk into Harry and Magi, or absorb it and walk into Harry and Magi, we're bringing just as much magical energy in, but now we can't get rid of it if we need to. I agree with keep a watchful eye on this, because if we just let it drop back into the world right now, we could be doing a good thing by keeping it away from the dust. The Dawn might be weaker right now, and we're weakening the dust to make them equal again. But the issue is, what if, the dusk is way more powerful already, and we leave this behind, and it just gets it back, and it's all out of balance again. We're the only thing helping the balance right now by holding on to this. It's a terribly dangerous artifact that we know absolutely nothing about, and honestly don't even know enough information to know what we want to do with it or what we should be doing with it. Not just, it's not like we know all the options on the table and are choosing between them. We don't even know what the rules of the game we're playing is. So I feel like, as sort of mundane as it sounds, the best thing we really can do right now is hold on to this thing and try to learn about it as much as we can, like we've been doing, but in a bit of a bigger time scale than what we've sort of been talking about with little investigations here and there. I think things this powerful are best learned about over time, uncovered, and then when we have enough information to play the game of cards, then we start playing cards in the game. I know that's not a satisfying answer, because we have this right now and we need to do something with it right now, and maybe we could gain something by doing something. I feel like I ain't never found a situation in life where waiting until you knew more about what you were dealing with was bad.
The one counter argument I am going to make, first of all, I think that you made some very good points, and I agree that it would probably be a better idea to wait, so that we can be safer about the way that we deal with it. On the flip side, Byron is kind of like, he lost a lot of his oomph in battle, I no offense, Ken, but like Byron was like super strong, and he could summon like big scary specters that could like kill people, and you're just like kind of a guy.
Oh yes, no, I fully agree. There's a reason why I didn't question the pact for so long. This form, kind of looked at himself, is pretty meager and wimpy. All I can really do is talk somewhat well.
Byron, I know that you've lost a lot in the past 2 days, I think it's been.
Not even that, I think it's been a single one.
Yeah. I can tell that you're hungry for becoming as powerful as you used to be.
Well, I'm hungry for having the power to not die as soon as anything touches me.
I understand, but you're also jumping into something that you know nothing about. And I want you to know that I want you to be, because somehow out of everything you know about the Dusk Dragon, somehow this is the most you know about anything related to it. You did not know how your powers worked for the entirety of us knowing you. Pretty much. You knew a little bit, but whenever you did something big, you didn't know. And personally, that's why I didn't stay near you during battles, because I don't want to get sucked into a black hole, preferably.
Understandable.
But as long as you promise to not gain more than you should have, I'm okay with you holding on to this and trying to use it. You seem very connected to it. A good way to put it, you seem like the type of person that once they learn the rules, you'll try to break the game. And I really don't want you to break this one.
I broke one pact one time and pissed off God.
And that's infinite more than anybody I've ever known, and probably lives within a 3,000-mile radius of here right now.
Okay, fair. Well, here, I've got a slight idea.
Hey, Byron, you don't need to keep convincing me.
Oh, no, I've got an idea.
I want you to not break the game, okay? Like, figure out how this works and figure out how you can use it, but don't feed more than you need to.
Luckily, I have a feeling that even if I tried, given that this is the power of a god, I feel like it might just kill me if I try to take too much.
That's great. Again, it's just like
That feels like a reasonable assumption, right?
I get it. It's just you literally shot black holes out of your, as you put it, small dick.
All right. All right.
2 days ago, you shot a lot of them.
It
And
was out of my
now you're
hands.
trying to do something, and you're making a lot of assumptions when you literally summoned shadow monsters out of your back a day ago.
Yeah, which I can't
Just-
explain that.
Just ease. You don't need to explain it. I stopped taking notes on how your magic worked. Just
Fair.
ease into it. Can you promise us that?
I have an idea of one way that I can do
Just
this.
promise me that you'll ease into it.
I'm not gonna just plunge.
Promise me
straight
that you're
into
gonna
the deep
ease into it.
end. I'm gonna tease it. Gonna kind of wiggle my way in. I'm not gonna
You're
just
gonna
jump in.
just promise that you're gonna ease into it, Byron. Can you just say
Byron,
that
go.
to me right now?
You want me to say ease?
You promise that you're gonna ease yourself into it.
I promise not to jump into the deep end. I'm not going
Okay.
to just.
Here
not gonna-
is your giant apple of destruction and chaos magic.
All right.
Have fun with it as you do.
Wait, Kezia did specifically
I
ask
did it
for...
without metagaming, guys. Congrats. Okay, you can huff it now. Have fun being a bard.
He's not gonna huff it. He's just gonna grab it and thinking on what Sonny was able to do, which was see into a different timeline. He's going to try to look into the future to see if he goes mad with power due to it.
Roll an intelligence saving throw. Oh no.
13. Ooh, do I want to use my final inspiration for that? Yeah, fuck it. Why not? Why not?
Well,
But
shit.
as you peer into it, you look in for just a moment. The first one that you see, you stare into it, and your eyes kind of glass over for just a moment. And you see yourself in Brinsburn. You see yourself on in the middle of the road, multiple stab wounds in you, and you see Dust Dragon cultist carrying away the book. And then you see
Alright,
nothing
I've
past
seen
that. Then you see the scene shifts. And you see yourself in Imperial military attire.
Oh, fuck.
And you see yourself practicing magic. You see yourself moving through and creating these copies of yourself. Not in the sense of the shadow ones that kind of with the Dust Dragon, but more like just almost mirror images of yourself to distract people, practicing throughout it, and just shipping out. You see one where you're back in Brinsburn again. This time, just remaining a blacksmith. You look around, and you just start working on a sword, and you just see this adventuring party pass through that you don't recognize, with a tabaxi, a halfling, an orc, a nondescript bald man, a druid, and a kid with goat legs. And you feel a little envious, but then you get back to your work. Each of these you think of, and it stops at a certain point. It stops at what would be considered the present for that given moment. And you can't see any further, because to quote Mystara, the future is unwritten. The one that you settle on, though, you are in Harry Magi, oddly enough. But it's not as you're expecting it here. You are attending the Arcane University there. The Koronix Institute of Arcane Endeavors. Because your family set aside the money such that you could go. And you remember distinctly studying, working your ass off, and focusing a lot on just kind of the persuasive arts, the magical arts, in part to tell stories of heroes, because they've just always fascinated you. In part so you can promote your family's business once you're back home. But even that one fades. But that one takes longer to fade. Because that one feels so close. So very close. And you are pulled back to reality. You guys see him. Byron is kind of there for just a little bit longer. Just, you see him, maybe 30 seconds, he's just kind of staring at this thing. But as you do that, you reawaken. And yeah, you see these alternative timelines. You don't get the sense that you're going to go mad with this, or at least it's preordained. It depends on the choices you make.
All right, lads. Having asked the question, I have come to two realizations. One, according to what it seems to be telling me, I shouldn't go mad with power. And two, I'm apparently in like the second worst timeline for myself. So I don't know what to do with that information, but if you guys are okay with me huffing it, I will. Artuk, and Byron will kind of set the thing back down and grab Artuk's hands and just say, and if I ever appear to be disrupting the balance, I want you to promise me something. I want you to promise me that you... God damn it, Zeka. I want you to promise me that you will either get me to stop or kill me if I refuse to.
Oh, well, that one was to be assumed without hesitation, Byron.
Perfect. And then I'll kiss him on the cheek.
We did it!
Then he'll grab it.
Oh my god. Adam just escalated both of the people in the couple.
Do you legitimately try to huff it?
No. He'll just kind of like grab it first.
What do you do? Describe it in great detail, Carson.
Repository.
Firmly grasp it. He will try to enforce his will upon it. Think hard onto that timeline that he enjoyed most. You know, the one where he's a bard, and then attempt to crush it.
Whoa!
And absorb the power into himself.
As you guys see
Roll a
this...
strength check.
No, roll a charisma check.
Ease into it, Carson. Ease into it.
Roll a charisma check.
I'm giving you inspiration.
Oh, no.
I'm giving you an inspiration.
Oh, but I want to see this timeline, though.
That's true. Wait, hang on. Do I want to give it to him?
No, this is when he's a freaking blacksmith. No, or he's dead. No.
Okay.
What is it,
On
though?
the second
I
worst
give it
timeline.
my inspiration. I have too much anyway right now.
Okay, thank you.
Roll another one.
That's a bit
There
better.
we go. That's a lot better.
Byron, you focus in on yourself, and you focus in on this, and you can think of... It's such a weird... It's a weird feeling. You know that this is real, but it's not quite real either. And the memories, you can piece them together. You're studying at the Koronix Institute after Imperial... Not victory, but the tear didn't occur in this timeline. But it kind of just came out to a truce between the Tuskbanes and the Imperials. Both sides kind of burnt themselves out militarily and just had to settle for an uneasy peace. So you studied here, and it's a strange shade of where you are in current reality, because you were working as a blacksmith under your father, who had just, rather than been forced out, retired from the Imperial military. And you thought you were going to be a blacksmith for so very long. You were never raised otherwise. You mentioned it every now and again. And hell, there was a day that you were about to go to the library, which you remember distinctly set you off on a very different path. But you forgot to finish work on one of the swords. You needed to sharpen it before it was ready to be shipped, so you couldn't head to the library. And once that was finished, there was a murder in town later that day, an adventurer. And about a week later, your mother surprised you with a gift. A lot of money that they'd been setting aside that they wanted to surprise you with for this to attend. Partially spurred because they just wanted to give it to you as a gift and so you would do better. But also because the world is dangerous, even this town was dangerous, and they can't keep you safe forever. So they wanted to make sure that you could keep yourself safe and live the life you wanted. And you remember attending. And it was a good time. You were a little quiet. It was new and you had a lot to catch up on. But you took to it very quickly. And you distinctly remember, at a certain point, part of the Institute's charter is that they release people to go out into the world and try to be diplomats, essentially. Basically, you picked, like, the diplomat track, because you wanted to tell stories, but you wanted to kind of bring peace to each other, to people. You saw from your dad how the war was very brutal, especially at the end, and no side even won to give it some kind of resolution. So you wanted to do your best to put good in the world and prevent those wars, or at least protect people from that conflict and be pleasant doing it. And you remember doing very well there. And Byron, you are pulled back. Everyone else, you see the Heart of Chaos. You see it basically deflate, almost. That isn't even quite right. It just kind of begins to shrink.
Oh no!
Byron is still holding it and kind of just enforcing his will on it. But it shrinks down to... It just keeps shrinking and shrinking.
Quick, eat it before it disappears.
Until it's about the size of just a marble. And Byron, you snap. You are back. You remember this. You remember those memories, even if they aren't quite real. They'll fade with time. But more, you remember the feeling associated with them, the different paths that could have been. And you also remember how to do the magic. You remember the incantations, the forms. Byron, for right now, you are a level 3 bard.
Nice.
But you get the feeling that the rest of it will come with time.
Nice. Do I keep my HP at the same point, or
Yeah,
change that?
it's not going to change. You're not going to get more or less. It's just you aren't level 6 yet.
Class bard. Good thing I already made everything for this. All right. I feel incredibly well spoken now. Almost like I cannot roll below a 10 on persuasion and deception checks.
Alright, glad we didn't metagame this one, guys.
Wait, how do we know he's actually Byron?
Yeah, quick, punch him. Zeka, go.
No.
I punch him.
All right, go. Yeah, it hurts.
Did it still feel like Byron?
Natural 20!
You fucking punch him, and you remember.
-1.
Hey, guess what that means, Zeka? That's 2 damage plus strength.
So -1, he's down to 1.
If I didn't roll a natural 20, it would have done 0 damage no matter what.
You pop him in the nose.
Oh, I have expected you to have him punch me in the tiny dick.
I punched
No,
him in
your
the
dick's
dick.
bigger now. You're a bard.
No, that's not how that works, and you know it.
No, he needs to get the enlarged spell.
No,
That's why he's so charismatic.
I slap him with a baguette in my backpack.
Fuck.
Wow, that was stale
okay.
as hell.
I don't. Wait, Morak, how does that prove he's Byron?
I don't know, I just thought it was funny, honestly. I didn't know you were gonna do it.
You know
Did
what?
it feel like Byron? Did he feel like he would complain a lot?
Can I make an insight check to see if the bread slap felt like Byron?
Sure thing.
Definitely Byron.
shit.
Yeah, that was Byron. You've hit him in the face with bread before.
Wait, let me see your teeth.
He'll try to give him as radiant of a smile as possible.
They
He'll
look like
wipe
your
the
creepy
blood out of his
dentures.
mouth.
I know there's pearly whites anywhere. That's definitely Byron.
Yeah.
Oh,
Don't like that
Fuck,
one bit.
all right, let me test something real quick. He'll rub his hands together, mutter a quick couple of words, put his hand on his face, and cast Cure Wounds on himself.
It works.
I'm so fucking pissed. I could have done that and gained magic.
Well, to be fair, hey, in this
What?
timeline's version of my body, I did study for like 4 years. I have a degree.
That is bullshit, and you know it.
I have a degree in Bardic Studies.
From a non-accredited
Going up.
university because it
Wait.
doesn't exist anymore.
The
So-
fuck's a bard?
Real quick, does he have the memories of both timelines? I think you said this already, but just to be clear.
Vaguely the other. It's not like, oh, which one's the real timeline. It's more like he remembers experiencing those feelings and he could tell you broadly what happened.
Gotcha.
Does the name Carter mean anything to you?
Maybe I had one. I think he might have been in the Ranger class. He was real shit at his job.
Yep, definitely.
Don't
definitely
forget about the, he was always getting shown up by that other ranger who just wanted to be friends.
Yep.
So,
Tamir T.
what should we do with this marble? Should Artuk hold on to it?
I'm good with that.
Sure. Here you go, Artuk. Here's the Marble of Chaos.
It still has a bit of chaos energy to it, by the way. It's significantly reduced, but still there.
Sure. I mean, I figure, I'm probably one of the only folks around who doesn't really hold anything against the Dusk Dragon necessarily.
Oh, I'm not a big fan, personally.
Yeah, I can tell.
Brilliant. Yeah, no, it's all yours. I trust you with it. I trust you with my life.
All right, I'll carry both with the same respect I try to carry just that has to do with balance. Essentially everything that I learned from the time I was a kid up to now.
Should we try and get the lead box from town to put this in?
Why does everybody always assume it's easy to get a lead box?
I don't know.
More importantly, we need to see what Byron can do now. I'm gonna pull out one of those clubs and toss it to him.
And as Byron fumbles it, we're gonna go back.
Right, let's spar.
We're
Let's
gonna
see
go
if
back
you
to
got
the
your
girls.
stuff back. And we'll do a star wipe back to the other group.
Absolutely.